Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Becoming Your Highest Self podcast. Today, you're listening without an intro. No intro music today. And that is because I'm not in my normal habitat. I'm actually at my grandparents' farm using my grandma's computer with my mic. But I had to download the software on her laptop to even be able to record this because things have been so crazy hectic in our lives recently that I feel like my brain is just a big piece of fried bologna, to be honest. So I haven't talked to you guys since we got back from California/Vegas. For those of you that don't know, my husband and I went to Las Vegas. He has a family member there, so we went to hang out and visit. We flew from Las Vegas to Napa, California, because the very first coach I ever hired back in 2016, she got married to her hubby. Finally, they had to cancel due to COVID, and it was a beautiful, beautiful wedding. I'm so excited that they allowed us to be a part of it. And I cried like a baby at the vows and the father-daughter dance. I'm just a sap at weddings. And when people do personal vows, not just rehearsed, the typical, I just am a mess. And they were just so beautiful. So we left there. We come back to Vegas. I'm pretty sure that I'm allergic to the desert because I ended up with like the nasal congestion, the sneezing, cough, just all of the yucky. And then we came back to Kentucky, and that in itself is an allergy cluster living in the Ohio Valley. So a lot has been happening behind the scenes, and even more so, and I will keep filling you guys in as I can. But basically, I'm currently at my grandma's house because her and I are leaving for a trip really early in the morning and going to have a nice little vacation in Florida. So I have not been, I didn't record a podcast episode last week because catching up after a 3-hour time difference for a week, and my husband a little bit more than a week, when I tell you guys that level of exhaustion of trying to readjust just, to Eastern Standard Time again, I have not slept the way that I slept last week since I think I graduated college and just needed to catch up on, 18 years of being in school. It was the most ridiculous thing. And I'm finally just now getting back to normal. So, God bless it. So thank you for your patience. And like I said, I will keep you posted on everything happening in our lives as I can. But it's been a whirlwind, to say the least. In addition to all of that, as if my life wasn't busy enough, I also basically burned down everything that I have, done in my business, my whole business model, and decided, you know what, this stuff no longer aligns with me. I shouldn't say this stuff because the work that I do still aligns with me, but my model for business no longer aligned with me. And I've been feeling this for months. And I couldn't figure out the direction that I really wanted to go with my business. And then one day it just clicked and I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I'm going to do. That means I've got to basically burn down everything and start from scratch. And that's a very scary place to be. And actually today's topic, we're going to talk a little bit about stress. But before we do that, I just want to fill you guys in. So you guys, I've been a coach for 3 years. And in those 3 years, I've learned a lot about myself. I have created a lot of programs. Some of you have even been in them. You've been in Inner Mastery. You've been in Depth. You've been in Evolve. You've been in Shift. You've been in, I've had a lot of programs. I had Money Program. Just a lot of different programs. And most of the programs that I've had, in addition, Becoming Her, right? The I guess you could say advertisement you would hear at the end of a lot of these podcast episodes was for Becoming Her, which was my signature program. Well, I had planned on trademarking that brand of Becoming Her and that being what I did in my business. And whenever I decided to trademark it, hilariously enough, someone already has in the same kind of field. And if they wanted to, they could decide to send me a cease and desist and make me have to stop all becoming her everything. And so when I realized that the brand that I wanted to build couldn't legally be built because someone else has already trademarked it and has all of the intellectual property and ability to use it themselves, I had to really get clear on what it was that I stood for, what it is that I love, who I want to help, who my audience is. And it kind of stirred up this almost unbecoming to become the person that I wanted to be in business, right? So I have loved what I have been doing with Becoming Your Highest Self podcast. So I decided that that is how I'm branding myself. And I eliminated group coaching because what I have found in the last 10 weeks of working with my depth clients through the Energy and Chakra program is that I have loved the one-on-one attention. I love pouring into my clients one-on-one. I really do. That face-to-face Zoom meeting has just been something special. Now, some people like phone calls, so I'm going to offer that as well. But moral of the story, my business is going to be focused one-on-one. Also, I have a lot of males that listen to the podcast as well. And I realize I don't want to just exclude men that want to become their highest self as well, because they want to become their highest self to be better husbands, better dads, better all of the things, right? And the work that I do as a coach is a lot of self-awareness work. My forte, my expertise is in raising your self-awareness through strengthening your mindset, your emotional intelligence, and your energy. And with that being said, I want to work with both men and women. And I think that my favorite thing ever about coaching is really seeing how people change when you pour into them one-on-one. So I have 2 tracks now in Becoming Your Highest Self. So there's the podcast, right? But the 2 tracks as far as coaching goes are your general life coaching for self-mastery and self-awareness around mindset, energy, and emotional intelligence. Or if you are a high-level executive, CEO, business owner, and you're in charge of leading a bunch of other people and you're really desiring more work-life balance, you're struggling to lead other people because everybody's got their own personalities and not everybody's going to operate from the same manual as you. And, maybe you're going through your own stressors being the leader. It's like, who takes care of the leader when the leader's taking care of everybody else? How do you become your highest self in that? That's going to be the 2nd track. So I am now one-on-one coaching for people who just want your general self-mastery life coaching and people who are higher level in business or executive leadership and they need someone to pour into them as well and helping them become their highest self. So those are the 2 tracks. I wanted to update you because so much has been happening, and you can check out all of the new changes on MacieRenae.com and then ask any questions you have. I always do 60-minute consults, but basically those of you that have loved the programs like Inner Mastery and, the stuff that you've seen in Becoming Her, it's all going to be there. Like, you can still engage in all of the workbooks. You can still do all of that work, but you get to do it one-on-one with me and not in a group. So that's all I'm going to say for that, because this has been the longest update ever that I've ever done. And I laugh when I give updates because I remember I had a listener leave me a bad review like a year ago because they said she wouldn't stop talking in the beginning of her podcast. And I was like, hello, I was giving updates. Anyways, that's the update. So really quickly, I do want to touch on today's topic, which is stress. Because so many people walk around with a lot of stress on their shoulders, and you're living in stress every single day, and it's not helpful, not in the least bit. But it's very hard to switch out of being stressed because it becomes a very addictive emotion because of the chemical. So the chemical involved in stress is cortisol. Every time your body releases cortisol, that's when you feel stressed, okay? You start to feel stressed, you feel anxious, Your body does not feel good. When cortisol is running through your body, it knocks every single one of your organs out of homeostasis, aka balance. And so your body is not operating in its normal function. And while we don't feel good whenever we're stressed, because it just a lot of times is associated with negative emotion, it's at the same time, cortisol is a very addictive chemical that runs through our body. So what this looks like, and I talked about this a little bit on a Facebook Live, I think recently, because I'm still doing 365 days of Facebook Live, you guys. But basically what this looks like is, let's say every morning you're in a rush, you're packing the kids' lunches, your husband or your wife is trying to get out of the door, you're trying to get out of the door, you're letting the dog out, you get in your car, then you drop the kids off to school, then you're on your way to work and you get stuck in traffic and you're honking the horn and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be late. Like, this is just the craziest thing. This has been the worst Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. And you finally make it to work, and maybe you make it on time or you're a few minutes late and you're frazzled, and then you get to your job, by 9 o'clock. I don't know what time you've got to be at work, but you get to work at like 9 o'clock and you're like, whew, okay, let me get settled. Okay. Well, let's say the next week you're off that Monday. Okay. And it's 9:30ish. And your body starts to have an anxiety attack out of nowhere. And you're like, why am I having an anxiety attack? I don't even have to be at work today. Like, everybody's off. I don't understand why I'm panicking. I don't understand why I feel this way. It's because your body is trying to signal cortisol, because if your body has been used to dealing with stress, it says, oh, hey, it's 9 o'clock. Normally around this time, we get really stressed out. We start honking the horn. We start sweating bullets. We start cussing the person out who's, taking their sweet time. And your body is asking to go through that stress hormone again to feel normalcy. So this is why we have to become more self-aware human beings, because when your body is stressed, it's essentially the same as keeping Christmas lights on all year long. The Christmas tree isn't made to stay on all year long, okay? It's okay to have the lights on a timer. It's okay to have them lit up for hours throughout the night and then turn them off for the portion of the day. But if you were to leave your Christmas lights on your Christmas tree up 24/7 all year long, what you eventually get is burnt out bulbs. And it's the same thing for the human body. So every time you're stressed, think of each one of your little organs being lit up like a Christmas tree. And your fight or flight is activated. Cortisol activates your fight or flight response, where you feel like you're in danger and you're in fear and you've got to do something, control something, like run. I've got to run, I've got to fight, I've got to do something to control the situation. When your body is lit up like that for long periods of time, your organs do not function the way they are meant to function. Your heartbeat changes, your breathing changes, everything shuts down to allow you to do the running away or whatever, the fighting, whatever it is that you need to do. So I want you to think about this. It was very helpful for us back in our caveman days, right? When we had to fight tigers or lions or tigers or bears, or fight for our food, or, fight to survive. It was a great thing for our body to be able to do this so that we could do just that, survive. But our body is now lit up with stress because something's not working, like our iPhones are not working. They don't have what we need at the grocery store to make dinner tonight. The kids are not behaving. The boss is getting on our nerves. Your cousin, said something nasty to you over Facebook. Like, we're lit up like a Christmas tree more times than we're not. And the problem with that is that it is physically, mentally, and emotionally impacting your body. Because if your body is lit up like a Christmas tree, aka your organs are not able to function the way that they're supposed to, you're now creating a body that is preparing itself to host different diseases and illnesses and all of the things. Now, I love science. I'm a science geek. And if any of this intrigues you from the podcast today, I really encourage you to check out Dr. Joe Dispenza. I was just telling my depth clients about him because we were talking about the third eye and we were talking about the crown, part of the chakras. He likes to call them energy centers. He is just a wealth of knowledge that I think you should binge at any given time. I'm obsessed. And I love how he breaks down exactly why we do the things that we do and how to change it. But what I want to say about this stress is that learning how to be very present in the moment counteracts a lot of the stress that we feel at any given moment. Because if you're being present, you can bring yourself into a moment of noticing that none of the things that you're actually worrying about are happening now. It may feel normal or necessary to worry about something that's going to happen days from now. Like, oh my God, I'm getting back from Las Vegas and then I've got to pack for Florida. And oh my gosh, what if I forget this? But none of that has happened yet. And so every time that you go into the future and you're stressing, or every time you revisit the past and you're stressing, you're lighting up the stress hormones in your body. You're releasing cortisol and you're lit up like a Christmas tree that's on 24/7. If you can't learn to turn that off, you are literally setting yourself up for disease, for sickness. What you're creating within yourself, because here's the thing, let me rewind for a second. You become what you think you are. You become what you think about. Your thinking creates your feelings. Your feelings put out an energetic signature, okay? Your feelings create your actions, the actions you do or do not take, and your actions create the results that you get in your life. So if you're not being mindful of your thoughts, subconscious or conscious, you are creating results 24/7. So what I want you to visit with yourself is, do you like the results that you're creating in your life right now? Are you happy with the results you're creating in your life right now? Are you happy with the amount of money that you have? Are you happy with the amount of time you have? Are you happy with the job that you have, the boss that you work for, the relationship that you're in, the person that you're dating, the person that you're married to, the type of parenting that you're doing? Are you happy with yourself? Do you give yourself enough self-care? I mean, what results are you creating? Because all of us are creating results all the time. So you have to ask yourself that, because you're responsible for your results, and your results are not a direct result of your circumstances. Your results are a direct result of your thoughts, subconscious or conscious. Okay? So if a lot of your thoughts are driven by stress and cortisol, you're not going to be creating the results that you actually want from a conscious, present place. So you really have to check in with yourself. And this is what I love helping people work with. And I think why I've realized one-on-one is super, like, just something I am so passionate about. It's because helping people make the connection between what they want and where they are currently, and that gap work in between is really big work. And helping them understand their stressors and what kind of self-sabotaging they're doing to themselves is very beneficial in their life, okay? So you guys, reach out to me if you have any questions about this topic. I'm cracking up laughing. Like I said, I am out of my norm right now. I'm recording at my grandparents' house. I can hear them whispering, like trying to be quiet so that they don't interrupt me, but I can hear everything, and it's very possible you can probably hear them too. And I don't know. It's just so funny. So hopefully next week I will be able to record in my normal space, and I'll fill you guys in on, vacation and have more topics for you guys. I apologize that there's no intro today, and that is, again, because I'm not in my normal setting. But if you have any questions, or you're wondering what the heck is up with her, what is she doing now in the direction of her business, go to MacieRenae.com. That will help explain a lot more. And if you are needing that one-on-one attention to help you create the result that you want in your life, look into becoming your highest self, the coaching experience. Okay, that is one-on-one coaching, 6 months or 12 months, totally dedicated to you, 1 hour of coaching every single week, focused on the results you want to create in your life, whatever it is. Okay, if you need help, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to hop on a free consult with me. Okay, guys, I will see you guys after vacation. I am checking out. The only thing you're going to see me on is 365 Facebook Live, and maybe some posts if I'm feeling inspired and relaxed. But other than that, I'm checking out. I'm going to be present, enjoy the experience, and do my best to stay out of a state of high cortisol. So I hope you all have an amazing week and that you're going on vacations and doing amazing things. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.